Hey, what's up you guys? Today I am doing my June TBR and I'm very excited because this is the first month so far, I think, in 2021 that I'm taking part in a readathon. I'm doing ancientsathon, which is hosted by Jennifer Brooks and Tori from Hufflepuff Discovery, and I will have the link to their announcement video in the description if you want to take part. It's pretty much just reading ancient classics from I think the 1500s and before, and this is very new to me. I have not really read anything from any of those time periods apart from some Shakespeare. I think he's in the 1500s, I think. Don't quote me on that, I'm not a Shakespeare expert. But I am really going out my comfort zone this month. I'm reading books from like 600 BC and all sorts, so fingers crossed I actually managed to do it. But yeah, check out the link to their announcement down below after this video. But for now, if you do enjoy this video, please leave a like and please subscribe. And let's just get started talking about my June TBR. So the very first book that I plan to read for ancientsathon is The Odyssey by Homer. I have owned this forever and it's one of those books that I was like, I'm glad I own it, but I don't know if I'm actually ever going to get to it. But this readathon has finally gave me the push to pick it up, so hopefully I managed to do so. I'm really nervous about this readathon, to be honest, but I think it will go quite well. But The Odyssey is written by Homer. It was written roughly around 600 BC. Nobody actually knows for sure when it was exactly written. There's also some debate as to whether Homer was even a real person or whether the Odyssey and the Iliad were written by like a collective group like over time. It's very interesting history, which I do not have the time or the expertise to go into, but the Odyssey concerns a Greek hero, Odysseus, I think maybe is how you say it. Don't quote me on that again. And he is a king who is just on his way home after the Trojan War, and we follow him on this journey home as things go wrong and we meet different Greek gods, I believe, maybe, and it's just a big epic adventure and it's written in poetry form. And the edition I will be reading is the Penguin Classics. All of the classics I am reading for ancientsathon are in the Penguin Classics versions, which I'll have the pictures here obviously. So that's the translators I'll be using. I know that Jennifer extensively talked about the different translations and stuff of different ancient books, but I am just gonna stick to what I know, which is the Penguin Classics. So hopefully I enjoy the Odyssey. Again, I'm quite nervous for it, but I think it'll be good, so fingers crossed. The next book that I plan to read for ancientsathon is Paradise Lost by John Milton, and this was published in 1667, and it is another epic poem about the fall of man. It's all about Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden and all of that good stuff from the book of Genesis and the Bible, and it's like a retelling but written in poetry form, and I am super interested in this. I've always wanted to read Paradise Lost. I've discussed in some videos before about how I'm really interested in like religious art and religious stories and religious literature. Even though I'm not religious myself, I just really enjoy the imagery and the stories and stuff like that. I think it's all really interesting and captivating. So Paradise Lost is kind of like the god of religious kind of text that isn't actually, the Bible or something like that. I just think it'll be really interesting to read. Again, I'm not actually religious myself, I'm just really interested in that kind of stuff and those stories, and I hope that there's going to be like some beautiful quotes in this book. And I don't actually know too much about it other than like it is about the Garden of Eden and Adam and Eve and stuff, so hopefully it's good and hopefully it's not a struggle to get through. Again, same as the Odyssey, I'm a little bit intimidated, but I'm sure once I get into it, it'll be fine. Another book that I plan to read for ancientsathon is Stung with Love, and this is the surviving poems by the poet Sappho, who was an ancient Greek poet, and she is one of the few female writers of the time that anything has survived, and she is most famously known nowadays for giving her name to Sapphic, which is obviously another word for, well, it's not another word for lesbian, but it's all about like female love, so like lesbian, that type of stuff. And the word lesbian comes from the island of Lesbos, which is where Sappho lived, and I just think this will be really interesting to read. I planned on reading this eventually anyway for my LGBT Classics series, so I thought, you know what, I might as well do it for ancientsathon and tackle two birds with one stone, and it's only 160 pages, so hopefully I will just fly through it and there will be some really beautiful poems in it. I know that quite a lot of other people for ancientsathon are also reading Sappho's poetry, so I'm hoping that people are going to be in the Goodreads group like comparing like their favourite quotes or their favourite poems and stuff, and it'll be a good time. So yeah, I'm quite excited for this one. And then my final book for ancientsathon is one that I don't actually know if I'm going to get to this month, but is an option, and that is Medea and Other Plays by Euripides. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I found this just by chance in a charity shop the other day, and obviously I was planning my ancientsathon TBR at the time anyway, so it was just like divine intervention. It was just like right there in front of me. I was like, okay, I need to pick this up. And it is basically just 4 different plays. They're all tragedies, and I don't know anything else about it. So this one I'm not too bothered about getting to this month, but if I do manage to get to it, then I will be happy. So moving away from ancientsathon now, I have a lot of other books I want to read in June. So the first one is one that I have been wanting to get to for so long, and I finally just got it from the library. It is literally right next to me right now. I want to start it ASAP, and that is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I have not read any fiction by Daphne du Maurier. I read her book on Branwell Bronte, her non-fiction, which was kind of interesting, but this is my first fiction book by her, and I'm very excited. Rebecca's obviously very famous, very popular. There was a Netflix movie that came out either at the start of this year or last year. I don't know. So Rebecca's like her most famous work, and it is a gothic mystery about a woman who gets married to a man. Obviously, well, actually, maybe not obviously, but you know, for the time period, obviously. And then when they go to his country house, which is like this big gothic manor, there is a lingering presence of his ex-wife, and I feel like I maybe know a little bit more than that, but I don't know if I made it up or not. I'm not too sure. I feel like it's influenced by Jane Eyre, and if you know what happens in Jane Eyre, then you know what I'm hinting at, but I actually don't know if that is the plot of Rebecca, so don't tell me. I'm just theorising right now. But yeah, I've been wanting to read this for so long, so I'm glad that I'm finally going to get to it this month. Another book that I've been wanting to read forever, and I'm finally planning to get to it in June, is Do You Dream of Terra 2 by Temio. And this is a sci-fi novel about a group of humans who discover a new planet that is very similar to Earth, and they want to go there and find out if it is habitable. And they embark on a 23-year mission, and no one can help them if anything goes wrong, and the description says that obviously something will go wrong. I don't know much more than that, but I do know that I had heard some amazing reviews for this book. If you are in my friend group on BookTube, you might know that the last book and this book and the next book are someone's favourite novels. I hope to do a vlog about my friend's favourite books this month. I was going to keep them a secret, but I thought, you know what, I need to pad out this TBR. So this is going to be for that, and this person gave it a glowing review, said it was amazing, and gave it 5 stars, so hopefully I love it. Another book that I want to read for that video, reading one of my friend's favourite books, is Severance by Ling Ma. I added this to my want to read page on Goodreads literally when I started BookTube, like a way back, start of 2019, and I'm finally getting to it this month, hopefully if things go to plan. And Severance is about a plague / pandemic that is very, very deadly and takes over the entire world, and I don't really know much else other than that. I know that a lot of people have said that this book is very hard to read maybe if you've been affected by the current world situation, which is almost on its way out, hopefully. Personally, that's not really something that bothers me. I actually am looking forward to reading it. I read one of the Maze Runner prequels last year, and it was so fun to read about, like, them talking about like masks and social distancing and stuff, like in the Maze Runner book. Well, that was like a big thing here in the real world, so hopefully this one's kind of the same. I don't know, I think it'll be fun, and I love a bit of dystopia, I love a bit of apocalyptic action, so hopefully this will be right up my alley. And then the final book that I'm going to talk about in this video is a blog tour thing that I'm part of. I've never done this before. I'm posting about it on my Bookstagram on the 15th of June, and I don't know actually what else to do. I don't know if that's all I do for it. I'm not good at this type of stuff. I actually don't talk about my Bookstagram that often. I don't post very much. I use my stories quite a lot on it, but actual like posts, I don't use that much anymore. But I'm trying to get back into it, so I will be posting for this book anyway. And it is called Aesthetic, a Dark Academia Anthology, and it is an anthology of short stories by 25 different authors from all around the world, male, female, maybe non-binary, I don't know, like just a whole collection of different authors have all contributed to this book, and I think that sounds really cool. I have actually not read anything that is deemed dark academia, which you would think is kind of surprising because, you know, all I do all day is read classic literature. I'm a little bit pretentious. I don't know what else is to do with dark academia. I wear black and white quite a lot. My entire room is like black and white. So you'd think that I would be like really into the dark academia thing, but I actually haven't read anything so far. So I'm hoping that this will be really interesting. You know, I think it's 25 different stories from 25 different authors, and I am really excited to just see all the different takes on the dark academia subgenre. Dark academia is not really a genre, it's more like a vibe, I feel. I don't know, I'm excited to learn more about it anyway. So if you want to see my post about that, follow me on Bookstagram, and obviously I will talk about it in my wrap up anyway as well. But yeah, that is the final book I'm going to talk about in this video. I also have 5 books for my LGBT classics, the next episode. I don't know if I'm going to get to all 5, to be honest. I have some big plans in June. I will be hopefully making some really fun vlogs and some really fun collabs. That's all I'm going to say for now. But June's going to be hopefully a really fun month. So make sure to subscribe so you see those fun vlogs and fun collabs if they happen, which they better happen because I've paid for plane tickets. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, please subscribe, let me know your thoughts on any of these books if you've read them. If you want to try and guess who my friend that I'm reading their favourite books is, maybe do that in the comments. I'm not going to confirm or deny, but feel free to have a guess. And follow me on Bookstagram, and that is all I have to say. Okay, thank you for watching, and goodbye.